What's goody? We back. It's your boy B Neil, aka Emerald Thoughts, aka Fat House and High Winds. We back in this thing. We got Fresh and Fit again. They went on Flagrant 2 and supposedly got roasted, but to me, it was another emotional rant from one side and a lot of misunderstanding. And for some reason, I ended up having to back Fresh and Fit. Like, I'm just like their number one fan, and I'm fine with that. I'm not their number one fucking fan, but I think, besides them having the corny shit and trying to ban people or copyright people, besides that, the stuff that they talk about is pretty valid to me. Do they have the best approach? No. They take it from a more technical, analytical, nerdy perspective, but they still have a good point of view when it comes to modern women and dating. So that's why I like them a lot, man. And they get flack, and hopefully I can kind of disprove or take a little heat off of them on this episode or this reaction video, because there was a lot of things that I seen. I was just like, this is just, if you're really looking at it from a different perspective, it's like, I don't see how y'all taking this guy's side of the other dude that I'm gonna show later. Let's get into it though.
Like, out of respect for him, because like normally I'd be kicking people off the show. I don't care.
Guys, I hate them. Let me figure out why.
Yeah, so exactly. So basically, all that happened, right? Shade Room posted, and of course they posted out of context, like, oh, you know, he told this girl to get out, blah blah blah, and he was being rude. But they don't realize that I was actually talking to the other girl, not.
My bad. I think
she stepped in to intervene for the other super chats that come in, and we read the super chats. We make jokes, ha ha ha.
Akash hot as hell.
Those are donations.
He really don't like them. He's like boiling on the inside.
It's a very interactive show with our audience. So someone sent in a super chat, and mind you, we had just finished making fun of some other YouTubers in this clip, but prior to what they actually clipped. And then he says, "Hey, have you ever heard of the dating website Blacked?" And then that's when we made those jokes like, haha, we don't dabble in the dark, you know, Night Rider, whatever. And we say that joke all the time about like Night Rider. We ask girls when they come on, like white girls, hey, do you like the BBC, whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, she's a Night Rider. David Hasselhoff in the house, ha ha ha, right?
Right.
No one says anything, but they want to go and pull that clip.
But don't you think the issue is you guys just declaring that you don't really date black girls? Don't you think that's what people are upset about?
Well, I mean, at the same time, we have preferences, right? And we have standards. But, you know, we were kind of joking because of the Blacked dating app per se. It wasn't like, oh, we hate black women. It's more like, okay, we don't really date like hood black chicks per se, like LaShawn and LaQuisha. But it wasn't like we hate black women. It's like,
can I ask a question? Is there anything wrong with not liking hood chicks and ratchet chicks? Like, can we really sit down and say a man stating that he don't want to date those type of women is crazy? Like, am I in this backwards fucking if that's something wrong to say, I live in a backwards ass universe, bro. Backwards as hell. Like, I don't get it. Like, let's go though. Let's move forward. I'm saying this for a reason. They gonna make this a point like it's valid for some reason. Let's keep going though.
But we didn't say we hate black women.
Right. But you would date black girls is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we have in the past.
Bro,
it's not our normal preference.
I had a yacht party, bunch of white girls. I was dating the only black girl there.
Right.
It's like, bro, I don't hate black women. My mom's black. My sister's black. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's just like, you know, they're going to sensationalize it, paint this narrative that you guys are racist, take a 10-second clip. And here's the thing. If anybody watches our podcast, we're kind of like you guys, very politically incorrect, make jokes.
That's the thing. I never criticize people for jokes.
Yeah.
That dark dude was emotional as hell. You're like, nah, you're not like us. But I'm gonna hold it. Hold my water.
Again, we might have different prerogatives with the podcast. Like, I think you guys are more like a life coaching space and like helping guys become the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And we are comedians that just say fucked up shit all the time. It's literally called Flagrant too. Like, we are being flagrant on purpose. So you're going to be treated with different expectations.
Of course.
And the expectations that I think they should be treated with is not like they're going to be perfect. Not like they got to be serious 24/7. These niggas can joke. They can have a life. They can make fun. They don't always have to be serious. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's not make it seem like they have this political role that the people voted them in and they have an obligation to uphold. Like, no, bro. These are people that can have fun on the platform they built. Like, when they want to be serious, they can be serious. When they don't want to be serious, they don't have to be. Like, I know y'all may have an expectation because they're coaching people, but like, I feel like when people do this, they treat their fans like they're idiots, or they treat their fans like their fans can't think for themselves, or like their fans are just brainwashed idiots that just follow everything that they say, and that's just so far from the truth. Whether it's Alex Jones fans, whether it's Joe Rogan fans, whether it's Kevin Samuels fans, like or Fresh and Fit fans, people always try to like denounce their fan base because it's easy. If you can do that, you can denounce that person because that person fan base gives them credentials and validates their points and their opinions and brand basically. So the only way you can really bring that person down is by saying their fan base must be stupid, their fan base must be dumb, or can't think for themselves, and that's so far from the truth. And when it comes to that, like, bro, yeah, they may say some things that may not make sense or say some things that may be foul, but as a fan, that don't mean I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's cool to do, or I'm gonna follow everything that they say. Like, for instance, I fuck with them and they copywriting shit was cheesy. I don't think that was cool. I'm not gonna cancel them because like I don't think it was that serious. Like, nobody got fucking strike. They got in more trouble than anybody else did. So they paid for they paid for the things that happened to them. They got backlash and things like that was appropriate. But other than that, like everything else they have been doing is for the most part is on a good side to me. Now, whether you like these people personally, I don't like them personally. Like, I don't know them. I don't have a reason to like them personally, but the message that they deliver, I like what they do. So that's why I fuck with them. But even me, how I'm able to think for myself, like, just because I say I watch Fresh and Fit, most people gonna be like, oh, this nigga must be dumb, or he a feminist or misogynist and he's brainwashed. He got to be an idiot. And it's like, no, bro. Kevin Samuels said it himself. You talk about his fan base who watches this shit, whether it's either dumb women that keep coming on or it's men that don't have a life. You're like, you'll be crazy to you'll find it funny the people that he knows that watch his show and he communicate with as far as like high people in high places. And I would say the same thing about Fresh and Fit. You'll be surprised at the different fans and the different demographics of people that watch their show from different age groups. It's not just a bunch of young kids. It's middle-aged men that's been divorced 2 or 3 times. It's middle-aged men that's not happy in their marriage right now. It's middle-aged men that's not getting sex in their marriage and not understanding what's going on. They have a big demographic that's very wide, and it's not just black kids. It's white kids. It's all types of kids that watch their shows and adults that watch their shows. But it's the same thing with Trump. When you want to denounce Trump, you talk about all his fans must be racist. Like, it's the easy thing to do, and I think it's cheesy, and I think it's something you should start noticing people do, because that's a game that they try to play on people to get you to already denounce and not take that person's side. But I see that shit from a mile away now.
Of course. And the thing is this, like, I make fun of everybody, you know.
Go into the preference thing, man. Let's talk about what
I make fun of everybody. So it's like,
fuck that preferences, bro.
Preferences.
Like, I want to know
where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. Well, I'm not saying I don't have a problem with the joke, but I have empathy for trying to be funny, and then it comes out fucked up, and then everybody's on your neck.
Exactly.
That's something.
Yes. Yeah.
Al can speak to black shit a lot more. I can speak to, yo, you're trying to be funny. It comes out fucked up. That's not what you meant. What I don't like, what I find corny as fuck, is my preference is not my women. Now,
But that's not what they said. Oh, he's about to allude to that too, but that's not what they said.
Thought it was, I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. It's just those.
And I mean, that's not corny, bro. Like, women do it all the time. Black women, like, I'm not dating black men. That's fine. Do you? I don't care. No one cares. Hopefully you're successful. Not dating your people. Who gives a fuck? Like, if you, like, I prefer to date my people. I would prefer that people dated their people. But if they don't, who gives a fuck? If they prefer not to, who gives a fuck? Like, and when you think about the percentage of people that date outside their race, it's like 10% or less. Like, that percentage is so small. That's not going to do anything to our population. It's not going to do anything to really change much. So, especially when their kids are going to have to identify as black kids anyways. Like, so I don't understand, like, that's not a big problem in our black community anyways. So even if they did say that, who cares? It's not like this is a plague that go on where black women can't find black men, like, or because of black men dating outside their race. Black women have a problem dating black men, but it's not because they're dating outside their race. It's because of black women behavior can be deplorable when it comes to relationships.
Those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't
black ratchet women
generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny between, that's just my thing.
Like, Akash is the extreme. Like, Akash only dates brown.
Oh, okay.
Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman.
is like loyal through and through.
Okay.
So the problem with Akash, for him to he's gonna have a big problem understanding Fresh and Fit where they come from. He's just kind of like Jesse Peterson. He's had a love that he's had for forever. He don't know women. He don't deal with women on the relationship basis because you've already been out the market for so long. And even if you did, you deal with women from a level of wealth, fame, and things like that. And even if you haven't always had that, you've had it for a while now. So you don't have a problem with women being submissive to you. So you have no understanding what average men go through. The average man gets laughed at. The average man has sexless marriages and things like that because their women don't respect them no more. But that's because of things that they may lack, whether it's confidence in the man may lack, whether it's confidence, charisma, fire, as far as keeping a relationship going. Sex could be a thing, or money. There's a few relationship problems that always pop up, and I'm guaranteeing you, at least 2 or 3 are like the top 3 of them. The finances, the fire in relationships and shit like that. So Akash really is one of those dudes that have no idea what's going on inside of the normal world. And one thing that he don't know for sure, he don't understand the independent woman mind state. And let's be real, that's a fucking problem.
And I understand it's not as important for y'all, but as an Indian, there's not a lot of us who are famous. So whether you like it or not, people are looking at you as a role model. You guys have established yourselves as role models, from simps to pimps.
I'll let him finish.
Which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of the shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talked about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. We are not in any way life coaching. We are not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like,
I mean, let's be real. From simps to pimps is it's a mentality. If you're gonna take the words literally, then of course it could come off as childish. But it's understanding, bro. No, there's definitely niggas that's being simps. Do we want them to become pimps and revert from the whole other side? No, don't necessarily do that. Just be a self-respecting man and have confidence about yourself. That's really what we're kind of saying when we say the simps to pimps. But one thing for sure, we're gonna acknowledge there's simps in this fucking world. And that ain't shit to deal with being childish, nigga. Like, let's be fucking real. Like, stop that shit.
yeah, you know what I mean? I just don't really fuck with black girls like that.
I guess my like just curiosity. I'm just curious. Is like, where does preference come from? Like, I was trying to think about this after I saw the clip, and I was just like, why do I like what I like? And I really was thinking about that. Like, who decides that? Is it my life? Is it my surroundings? Like, if I was raised in Mexico, I'm sure I would find Mexican girls beautiful. I would eat Mexican food. Like, these would be my preferences. Yeah. But preferences aren't really choices, right? Culture dictates our preferences.
I think it's experiences. Also, I want to say what you've been raised on, what you've been taught. Because, for example, I'm from the islands, right? Barbados.
Yeah.
So I've seen mainly black women my whole life. Now, when it comes to like tourist girls, I was like, wow, white girls are here in Barbados? Lit. I want to see what's up.
Wildin'.
So I give it a try. Like, it's pretty dope. Now, it's 2 different cultures. So for me, it's like, okay, let me try something new, see how it is. Yeah. Now I'm here in the States. It's like, okay, Spanish girls, white girls, girls from all over the world. All right, bet. However, regarding black women per se, like, dude, like, my thing is like, we're in a space where like people are targeted, especially the black people per se, black, white. And it's like, whatever you say can be used to the extreme. So what we said was kind of like, I want to say, not funny to them, but to us it's like, we're just cracking jokes, trying to be.
You're being hyperbolic about your dating preferences. Yeah. Right?
That's not really. They said they don't like dating ratchet women. Like people hyperbolize their people. Took what they said and blew it up. That's basically what happened. Took what they said out of context. They trying to make it seem like they said all black women, or that's what they were referring to. No, they were referring to unsubmissive, the independent woman mindset, or ratchet women. Let's be real.
That's kind of how I took it, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I think you can understand how the internet might have taken it, right?
Fuck the internet. How they take shit. Like, they sensitive ass. Nobody cares how the internet takes shit. They sensitive. Only thing we worried about is y'all giving us views or money. That's the only thing that niggas worry about when it comes from the internet. Feelings and all that shit, who gives a fuck?
Okay to have this as a preference that you like. Usually your preference is what you like, not what you don't.
Exactly.
I think that was the biggest issue. Like if you just like, hey,
but that's some soft ass shit regardless. Like I get that you may want people to speak like that, or you rather people only give their preferences they do like, but regardless, people can do what they want, and if you don't like it, you're soft. Who cares?
Kind of like Latinas. I don't even think you get any pushback, but saying my preference is I don't like that. That's, I think, where people start to feel rejected, and then they go, "Why don't you like me, man? Like, what's wrong?"
Also, the way they said they didn't like it, like that's what I was like bothered by the clip. It's like you guys go out of your way to say what you don't like, even though that's not what you're discussing. It's like your preference is what you do like, but then the way in which you went about how you don't like black women. Oh, I don't like the ratchet. I don't like the ghetto. I don't like the Shaniquas. Like that's.
He's emotional, first of all. His point don't make no fucking sense. Who gives a fuck if he doesn't like hood or ratchet women? That's actually, I would applaud them for not liking those type of women. But he's such a simp, or I'm sorry, I'm not gonna call him a simp. He's exhibiting such simp behavior or emotional men behavior. He can't understand their point, because it's really unfathomable the point that he just made. That you can get upset that someone don't like ratchet women. I don't give a fuck what class or what race or what religion. I don't like the classless people in it. I don't like the ratchet people in it. And even let's take a step further. Can we acknowledge that black women have a problem when it comes to dealing with relationships because of the independent mindset? They don't know how to be submissive. Like being submissive goes against their mind state. Like they've been told they don't need a man so long. Like this is in that rhetoric constantly. And that leads to them not being able to deal with men long term. It's cool to have sex with. It's cool to have babies with. Go on Facebook, bro. Go on Twitter, bro. Go on Instagram. How many girls got kids with no man around? Like, that's not cool, bro. Then that's just a cycle of what happened to them. Then it's going to be a cycle that happened to their kids, because ain't nobody trying to really nip this shit in the bud. And people like him leads to unproductive conversations, because they're at least acknowledging that it's behaviors being exhibited in this society that should be criticized. That's what they're doing. And by not dating them, you can say that's a form of punishment, or a form of the consequences they have to deal with by not changing and being better women. Just like if we don't become better men, the consequences of what we can't deal with women, or we won't have good options with women if you don't do the things it takes to build yourself up to be even attractable to women. So it's vice versa. Like we both get punished when we don't do the things that the opposite sex wants, or what we need to do to take care of ourselves, so opposite sex will even want us. So that's why I like them, because they do stuff that's hard to do. They talk about the topics that's hard to talk about, that people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. A lot of times people don't understand the relationship thing. Like a lot of people don't understand how the average man looks at a woman and don't understand how women move. For me, bro, I had no idea how women move. Like, yes, I lived with my mom my whole life. Yes, I lived with my grandma and was raised by women my whole life. But when it came to the dating aspect, you gotta think of it. If I've been living with women my whole life, I pedestalize women. So then when I go into relationships with women, especially when women already think they the shit and I'm pedestalizing them, I'm gonna get whole, because it's a lot of women don't have my best interest like my mom and my parents do and my granny do when I put them on a pedestal. I can love and cherish my mom because they're gonna take care of me. But when a lot of men that have that, they try to do that same thing and replace their mom with their woman, and they get so brokenhearted. And people like Kevin Samuels talk about this. People like them talk about this. Like understanding, bro, like, no, these are not your mother that you're dating out here. And if you know your mama, she was just another chick to another man as well. Like, and she hold him and didn't not hold him in a sense, but that didn't work out either. And if he was to talk about your mom, he'd like, man, I had relationship problems with her and we didn't work out. Just like how you have relationship problems with your girls. Like let's just be real. Like, and that's an ongoing cycle. Like, whether who fault it was, I'm not saying who fault it is or anything, but I'm saying like that's an ongoing cycle. Now let's be real about that. Like, but for some reason we can't acknowledge that shit. Like I said, people like him, when you talk about a behavior and not wanting to date that behavior, you talk about, oh, that's bad, that's lame, that's corny. No, you're lame. You're acting corny. And let's be real, those women that say in a heartbeat they wouldn't date a nigga like you. women all the time shit on men saying they don't want to date short men, average men, all type of different men. They have a list of requirements and qualities. No one cares because that's cool. You can have those. But when a man do it, say, I don't want to date ratchet women, it's a problem. Like, he's emotional.
Like, if you are a white person saying all that, that's racist shit. And I'm just disappointed in you.
Go back a little bit.
By the clip. It's like you guys go out of your way to say what you don't like.
And they didn't go out of their way as well. Let's nitpick what he's saying. They didn't go out of their way as well. They said it earlier. Their super chat asked him a question about an app, and they was like, they took that opportunity to make a joke about an app that they wouldn't use. Because they know the demographic of women that's usually on that app. Supposedly, that's what they said. I'm not gonna take everything they say and say that's what they really meant and stuff like that. I don't know. But regardless, they didn't just say, "Oh, I don't like black women," and just like, no. Someone actually, they used the app black, and they took a chance to make a joke at it. Whether it was a good joke or not, who cares?
That's not what you're discussing. It's like your preference is what you do like, but then the way in which you went about how you don't like black women. Oh, I don't like the ratchet. I don't like the ghetto. I don't like the Shaniquas. Like, that's like, if you are a white person saying all that, that's racist shit.
It'd be racist if they say all black women act like a Shaniqua, all black women act ratchet, all black women act a certain way. Then I could see how you could say that's distasteful or ignorant, but they didn't say that. So you're putting words in their mouth. And one thing I will say about black women, a lot of black women do all exhibit their independent mindset to some degree. And it's not just black women, it's the Western women in general, because of the programming and the different philosophies that's been pushed over here is a lot more liberal and things like that. So we have a different women that exist in this side of the world, whether that's different than the east side or whatever. East side, it sounded like I was talking about like a hood or some shit. That shit funny. But yeah, so a lot of black women do exhibit that behavior, and a lot of black women are hard to date. Western women are starting to be in general hard to date, and that's an honest thing. And women can talk about there's a lot of men that ain't shit. I can agree with you. There are a lot of men that's not shit. When I look in this world, when you talk about black men, I see a lot of black men that's not shit. I will agree with you, but let's be real on both sides. These black men that may not be shit at all, but y'all may have some things going on as far as like PhD, just a good person in general in society. But when I talk about black women, it's just dealing with relationships. And with that independent mindset, a lot of y'all are hard to date. So like I said, I can be honest on both sides. We both have problems on both sides. Black men have problems, but let's be real. There are a lot of percentage of black men that are doing middle class levels of success and higher. I think it's over like 50 or 60% of black men are middle class or higher or something like that. So that's not married, that are single. So there are a lot of black men that's still out there. Y'all just need to change our preferences and y'all character and behavior, and y'all be able to date those men. Because ultimately, a lot of times y'all looking at the shitty men for whatever reason. But I'm not gonna get into a whole diatribe about that.
And I'm just disappointed in you guys as black men to be talking about our sisters like that.
Our sisters like that. Nigga lame. You one of them poetry ass niggas, soy boy ass niggas. Get the fuck out of here. Our sisters. Our sisters. Fuck out of here. Like, you know how we talk about that white savior? He's that black savior, bro. Like, bro. Bro, like, no one cares about you, bro. Not in that ass. Like, I'm trying to be nice, but I'm trying not to be so mean. But like, bro, like this, you're on your high horse, like, oh, I'm coming to defend black women. I'm coming to protect black women. Get the fuck out of here, bro. This disingenuous ass shit. Because like, this is not protecting black women. What you're doing right now is harming black women in the grand scope of things. Because what you're doing is saying, oh, turn your eye to your sisters. You shouldn't criticize or talk about why you don't want to date these type of women. Because they're your sisters. You should try to date them anyway, basically. No, bro. It's certain groups of women that's just deplorable. Unfuckwittable. And if they can't handle it, oh fucking well, die alone. And as you as a man, if you can't understand that, oh well, I don't give a fuck. Stay emotional.
So you don't have a problem with the way you spoke about your sisters like that?
They're trying to frame it like they talked about all black women, bro. No, they didn't, and that's the hypocrisy. So when they say they about to say no, and he gonna say wow, like no, you're an idiot. They're not gonna say they have anything to change. They're not gonna change their opinion because they don't want to date ratchet black women, and that's a reasonable fucking thing to think or not want to do.
Like if it was him saying the same thing, you would be
Watch.
upset.
No.
So if he was like, "Oh, I don't like ghetto black women. I don't like Shaniqua's,"
it wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't. And even if he said he don't want to date all black women, why the fuck would that bother me? He's one of them dudes that got to be accepted by all, and he exhibits that behavior. I need to be accepted by all people. No, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to fuck my people in my race. I'm actually more happy that you don't want to. Like, bro, what? And damn sure if he say I want to date ratchet people, I don't want to date a ratchet black woman. I'm like, me either, motherfucker. We on the same fucking path when it comes to that. And then guess what? If I say I don't want to date no dope head white girl, he gonna probably say me either. Them hoes be strung out. Like no one gives a fuck. Like no, of course nobody wants to date them. The fuck, like. I don't understand. It's just so weird to me. And like I said, he tried to paint it as racist. Like, no, bro, even if he didn't want to date my people, if Akashs didn't want to date black women, or if we didn't want to date Arab women, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, that mindset is so weak and fragile to me. These niggas be so soft these days, bro.
Wow.
Because the thing is that
that's lame.
That's lame.
The only thing I can control is my reactions to what happens in the world. Like the world is not a fun. It's not like a rosy place.
Let me move. They gonna just copy themselves for it. They gonna repeat themselves for a little bit. Let me scoot up. That's lame.
If you are, hey, we're trying to help men. So either we,
okay,
but
here we
I
go.
think the mentality would still be troublesome to him, where it's like, what is I need a girl that's submissive. Like that's if y'all are really trying to help men.
That shit is nice, bro. Because
that's
I
nice.
got one that's
That's
not.
nice.
Hold on. What you
It's
talking
nice,
about?
but it's a dude that fucks white girls says it. I've dated black girls in my life. All right, bro. Who the fuck hasn't except me? You know what I mean? Everybody gonna dabble in everything. It is the mentality that I have an issue with, and Alex is upset with the specific words. True, but underneath it, he's upset with the mentality. And the words bothered him, but I think the mentality would still be troublesome to him, where it's like, what is I need a girl that's submissive. Like that's if y'all are really trying to help men.
That shit is nice, bro. Because
That's
I
nice.
got one that's not,
nice.
and that's
It's nice, but it's
bro.
a lot of shit
We
that
love
It
Asian
is
girls.
difficult, bro.
no, it's fine. A lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think, is stuff that's kind of childish. It is
Saying you want a submissive woman is childish? What? That's like saying a woman that wants a protector and provider is childish. What? Come on.
like,
I'm not gonna get
your
upset.
family's falling apart. What do you do? I don't get married. Just don't get married. You're actually trying to help men, or you talking to fucking incels who are 18 years old? You know what I mean? That's some shit you say.
And that marriage thing, I don't think that they tell people not to get married. I think they warn people in understanding, hey, there's certain things about women that you should look out for. Not every woman, just because you had sex with her, should be your wife. There's certain aspects of things that you should look for that makes her wifey material. Just like a woman looks at a man and objectifies us. Hey, can you provide? Can you protect? Can you be? Can you fuck? Can you do this? Can you do that? If you can, all right, maybe we can work for a little while. A man, for some reason, once we have sex, a lot of times we get pussy whooped, and we don't think about, hey, is this woman contributing to my life in a productive way? A lot of times, when these women aren't submissive and these women are these independent women, a lot of times you could be better off by yourself and just be fucking her and not in this serious ass relationship, because you're trying to make her something that she's not. Trying to make her submissive. You're trying to make her this at-home girl, and that's not what she is. You're trying to make her your mother, and that's just not what she is. And that's what people like Kevin Samuels preach to men. That's what they preach to men as well. Like, hey, there's certain characteristics you need to work on as yourself to even earn a wife and be attractive to women. And there's certain things when you become attractive to watch out for in women, because not every woman is just going to be this person you can put on a pedestal and put in your life and give a lifestyle that she will love, because she might tear that shit down if she's a destructive or toxic person, or honestly a person that just don't know how to harmonize with you. It don't even have to be that this person is a bad person. The fact that they don't know how to harmonize with you cause a clog in your system that you're trying to have. And that's just enough. That's more than enough problems already. You don't need those type of problems as a young man or a man in general in a world that you always trying to survive and deal with when you got to go in society. So I don't think they say men don't tell men to get married. I think they're telling men to be smarter about marriage, so you don't end up in these sexless marriages or these divorce marriages or these marriages where you got to fight for a woman to be submissive throughout it. Like, no, you don't want to have to keep going to therapy because she don't understand why she's not being submissive. Like, you don't want to end up in marriages like that. That's not fun. That's not love. That's you got fucked with this woman. Y'all got entangled. Y'all may got a kid. Y'all might have done some other different things too fucking fast. And now that y'all sitting up under each other, y'all starting to actually realize who y'all dealing with. And y'all had no idea who y'all was fucking dealing with. And that's what happens with a lot of men. And like I said, when we talk about the demographic of men, it's not some fucking incels. You see how he insulted his fan base by saying, oh, you must just be talking a bunch of incels. No, he talks to men of all ages. Probably, I would say their biggest group is married men and divorced men. I will guarantee you that's probably one of their biggest demographics. Young men have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Only men that watch their shit is probably like 25 and up. Any man under that don't watch this shit because they don't. Maybe black men at least. I wouldn't say most black men wouldn't watch them until they probably after 25. Because Daylight used to make this thing, bro. Oh my God, Daylight had this perfect example of the how relationships work. It's like once you 18, you get in a little relationship as a dude. Once you get 25, which y'all end up breaking up. And you got to find your life and things like that. Then 30, like how he broke this shit down. Like once you get 25, you kind of get like that whatever, like that first love you have, that's kind of when that end up dying sometimes, a lot of times, and you got to deal with that heartbreak. So a lot of times when you're young, you don't have heartbreaks and shit like that. Yeah, you still kind of just going through the meal. Unless you like a dweeb from a young age, then yeah, you may watch them. But yeah, I'm not gonna say they don't have dweebs that watch them, that's trying to elevate themselves and shit like that. But let's not make it seem like that's their whole demographic. That's my only point really. But yeah, you see how he tried to slide that in there. They must be incels, and what you preach is childish. So he's basically saying you only talk to children. Like, but
it's a lot of shit that
is difficult, bro.
No, it's fine. A lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think, is stuff that's kind of childish. Okay. It is. I saw a clip where you were like, "Oh, the nuclear family's falling apart. What do? I don't get married. Just don't get married." You're actually trying to help men, or you talking to fucking incels who are 18 years old? You know what I mean? That's some shit you say to college. I'm gonna turn you from a simp to a pimp. All right, bro. Can we grow up? You guys are self-help. Hey, we're trying to help men. So either we're funny, or help men and be real and be honest with yourselves and don't have an ego like.
And you can do both. You can do both. Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, they have plenty of jokes in between their rants of amazing lectures. Lectures be 8 hours long. You best believe they're gonna have some entertaining things inside of that. And you gotta realize, like, bro, this is YouTube. This is like, if you was just this straight, like even with Cam and Stedman, he gotta kind of be funny. He gotta snap at people sometimes. Because if he was just this straight, technical, analytical dude, like it'd be hard for people to digest him on a long-term basis. So you have to throw in little extra stuff. What are those things called? I forgot what the shit called, but little things to spice up the conversation, whether it's arguments or whatnot, or whether it's making jokes or whatnot. They're just a part of it, bro. They go on 5 times a day. 5 times a week. You think they can afford to be serious the whole time, bro? Come on, bro. Unreasonable expectations you trying to place over them. Like, let's keep dissecting.
Preference. Be honest. Have an honest conversation. And I don't think the manosphere or manoverse or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are people who are doing it really well. The roommates, Hafiz, that's who put me on to you guys. Great. But let's just be mature about what we feel. And part of that maturity is, yeah, it was a bad joke. I don't actually feel exactly that way.
Fuck that. They actually do feel that way. So you're wrong. Like, and I feel that way too. I would not date ratchet black women. What the fuck? I don't understand this backwards ass world we're in.
I mean, if you guys feel that way, that's fine. But we make our content, you know what I'm saying? People enjoy it.
And he trying to like soft debate him into like to agree with them. Like, hey, just say you can grow a little bit, bro. Stop that shit. Like, cause you being disingenuous when you saying that shit. That's not what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, hey, you're wrong. We fucked up, and that's not what they did. You should not have to admit this is something they didn't do. Now, can they grow on another level? Yes, but the context of what you're talking about, no. In that situation, they wasn't that wrong, and it's not that serious. So no, I'm not overreacting and apologizing. Just like when Kevin Hart, I don't think he should have fucking apologized. But when it comes to money, yeah, apologize. Who gives a fuck? Get it over with. But in a real life, no, I don't think he has to apologize for making those statements that he already had apologized for. Like, it wasn't that serious the second time. So I know I'm over this oversensitive ass people, and these people like him, like, it's a good point to make. It's just like on ESPN, bro. Like, people know certain points that people are going to like and dislike. Whether it's going to enrage people and get clicks, or people going to jump on the bandwagon because they already know that this thing is this person's heavily liked. So let me just suck this person dick, or ride this person dick, basically, like the LeBron James, like super fucking analyst, like he can't do no wrong type shit, and because they know that fans are gonna ride with them, and it's no different than them, and it's no different than when Joe Budden tried to talk shit to them. They know black women, they know people gonna be on their side because you look like the savior, you look like you're doing the right thing, but in reality, they're doing what's hard. What you're doing is not hard. You're just piling on and acting like you care. You don't care, and let's not act like you fucking care. Like, and that's the truth, bro. And let's just, like I said, that's the truth. Because even if you really thought about it and what he said, there's nothing wrong with that. So if you really cared about our community, like I know you don't, you would have let them make what they say and be like, you wouldn't have had a problem with it. Because like I said, bro, there's no reason for people to be acting ratchet, and for someone to criticize that behavior, there's nothing fucking wrong with that, bro. But
jokes on it, we provide entertainment, we provide education. We do everything, because if you just only provide, self-help stuff without any type of entertainment value, people aren't
agree with that.
I think jokes are.
So
I think
we
you should
have
joke.
a good time with it.
I don't have a problem with the joke. I'm telling you guys.
I think it's clear. I think you have, and I also would say this. I think it's very important.
And his emotional in the background, I had a problem with it. No one cares about you. No one cares what you had a problem about. And that's real life, bro. A lot of times, no one cares about anything else but themselves and their world and the things that exist in it. So your opinion, to a lot of times, like that's that fucking saying, every opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. That's a statement for a reason. No one cares. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has feelings. I don't care if you thought my joke wasn't funny. Like, who gives a fuck?
That men learn,
or distasteful. Like, I know my heart, and I know what the fuck I like, and I know what the fuck I meant. Fuck you.
Right? I think
soft ass boy.
Men learn how to fight. I think that it's important they learn how to talk, and I think it's important they learn how to
make money,
have sex.
Sex.
Yeah, I mean that, like, how to have sex with a woman, not literally the act, but like how to get a woman to the point where they want to have sex with them. I think these are really important, because I think the better that men are at those three things, the better they become as human beings. And I think when you're not, right, you're a bitter, kind of fucking angry dude. Of course. So
And that's the truth. And a lot of men don't understand why they become bitter and angry. A lot of women don't understand why a lot of feminist women don't understand why they be bitter and angry. And when men make the joke, or other women make the joke on women, like, she needs some dick. Yeah, that feminist bitch do be needing some dick, but they don't be knowing. That independent woman do need some dick, but she don't be knowing. Just be upset at everybody, gossiping and ruining everything because she ain't had no dick. That's all it be. She ain't got no home, so she got to ruin everybody else's. The dangers. The dangers, man. But I'm gonna cut it there, bro. Like I said, it was a lot of things about this episode. People that jumped on and like, oh, they got told off again. And to me, I'm like, no, not really. But it's more emotional people, or people that think it's easy to hate them and stuff like that. But to me, it's honestly disingenuous, and it's not that serious. But like I said, a lot of people also that have something to say about this have no idea what's going on inside of the average man's mind, and how the average man is having problems with sex and having a successful life as far as relationships. Most men are told, hey, go get a nice job, go do this, go do that, and women will want you. Boy, have they been lied to. You have to have so much more than that, and a lot of men haven't been taught the game, because they honestly haven't been told a lot. So yeah, and like I said, people like Akash, people like Andrew Schultz, they don't have a problem with women being submissive to them. They don't. Whether it's because their race tends to have more submissive women because of their traditions, or just because they're fucking the 20% of men that are highly successful, and men and women are choose them at a high levels. So they don't have a problem with women being submissive because they know other women know they got options and they need to take this man seriously. They need to respect this man because the lifestyle he bring. And even then, some women to get tired and just try to get a divorce and get their money out of that too. And yeah, that happens. Some things are uncontrollable, but that happens as well. And I said a lot of men like Akash would never understand that, especially. And then the other group of men that wouldn't understand that is simps. They're too busy kissing women asses and being yes men or women to ever understand true women nature, or ever understand what they really need to do as a man to actually get a woman to be attracted to them. Saying yes is not a fucking attracted to a woman. You spineless ass nigga is being a spineless ass niggas is not attracted to a woman, because at the end of the day, she know if you spineless to her, you're gonna be spineless to somebody else. You soft ass nigga. So yes men are they'll date you, they'll marry you and use your money, but you the niggas that don't get sex in relationships and then wonder why. And then try to talk, then have the nerve to talk shit to people that's trying to help you, but you just like anybody else that get emotional and get triggered when they talk about you. Like, hey, I'm talking especially about this dude, this yes man ass dude. He hey bro, if you have problems with not getting women, or you have sex and shit like this, you need to work on yourself. You need to do better as a man. And you're like, nah, I don't need to do that. And get triggered. Like these, it's so many different things that I could say about this shit. I'd be here all day, bro. But like I said, I tried to do my best to explain why I just felt like these Akash and the other dude opinions was just stupid. I didn't watch the rest yet. Maybe I'll dive into it more and come give y'all a part 2. But I don't want to hold y'all up too long. I appreciate y'all for watching. I thank y'all for getting my views up, getting these subscribes up and these likes up. Y'all the real ones. I appreciate it. Peace. Deuce.